Hi. Been quite a while, hasn't it? It's Mason again, after like a century and a half, it feels like. And trust me, this year has felt like a century. This is all 2024. This is where I last left off. I did watch my last flip through just to remember what I talked about, and man, what a 180, I suppose. But you'll hear about that later. We got a lot of journals to kind of go through. I'm going to kind of rapid fire these just a little bit, but you'll get the gist in a bit. So last time I left off was in January, which is when this one starts. This is journal 61. I nicknamed it Nova because that's a very generic-y space name. But yeah. So last I left off, I was telling you about a boyfriend that I had recently acquired, I suppose, and how we met and all that stuff. This was supposed to be a collage and stuff, but it didn't end up doing anything with it, so it's just kind of here as space filler. But this is basically just me. Okay. It was basically just me talking about like how we met and all that stuff. And yeah. So kind of just to keep it relatively simple, I'll let you know when some major stuff happens, because trust me, you'll see it. But yeah, quick thing with this journal is this is a Peter Popper press, because I am obsessed with Peter Popper presses. I think this one's the Galaxy Journal. And yeah, so yeah, last time I was here, well, talking to y'all, I wasn't in this specific space, but you'll again hear about that later. I need to roll up my sleeve. Oh yeah, new ink. Well, one of my first tattoos. So that's again, you'll see it. God. All right, just spoiler, or a small spoiler. But yeah, got a boyfriend and all that good stuff. Everything was going okay despite really, 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 really rocky and uncertain home situations. And yeah, I think here I found playing cards when I was on my way to work, and I was just deciphering them a little bit. I don't remember a whole lot of what happened in these, and honestly, with how insane 2024 was for me, you'll understand why I probably don't retain a lot of this off February. So I got a bit of a late start, and I was talking about how me and my boyfriend at the time, well, my now ex, but you'll hear about that in a bit, got into a phone call together, and how it got super politically driven and social topic driven, and it made me completely just reevaluate everything. And yeah, it got really, really, really stupid, and really, this makes me feel super icky as a person. And then we broke up. Yeah, so Blank and I are no longer together. But yeah, it was like he could not respect the fact that I was non-binary, and could not respect the fact that I was non-binary. He kept saying that I was girlfriend, but it's like, I am not your girlfriend, I'm your partner. Kept trying to change his mind, or trying to change my mind about having kids, and I told him point blank period, I'm not having kids, I don't want kids. And then the topic of marriage, he was like, oh, well, I know you're not really that big on getting married and stuff like that, and I respect that, but I was going to talk to you about it in a year and a half, and I'm like, oh no, fuck that. That's a 2 to 3 year thing, and then we talk about it as if we're pitching the idea to each other, and then I don't know, 2 or 3 years later, then we actually get that ball moving, because there's no way I'm rushing anything and everything like that. No, I got too much crap with how I've never really seen a successful marriage in my life and how I don't want to waste all that money on something that may or may not even happen. Like, symbolically we can get married to a degree, but like legally I really don't want to get married. And and another thing was he turned out to be pretty racist, I'm not gonna lie, because he was like, oh, I'm all for the police, like the police can do no wrong. And I was trying to educate him on like how, you know, our modern day police system is built off of racism and slavery. It's just slavery rebranded. And he's like, nuh-uh, nuh-uh. And it's like, okay, we're done. And yeah, I did a lot of really pretty spreads this year, I won't lie. In this one, I probably should have gone back. Well, you'll see. Well, to be fair, I didn't have these here for inspiration, but again, you'll hear why. But yeah, our relationship lasted around 4 months, like officially 4 months. But yeah, I don't really regret it to a degree, but it's like I feel like I just wasted my time overall. And yeah, I was getting frustrated with shit at home from what I can see. But yeah, again, I don't remember a whole lot of what happened in these journals to a degree. I guess I had different dreams. I don't know if we were fixing the house or doing any spring cleaning, just digging out a bunch of, oh, I kind of remember this one, but yeah. Yeah, I don't remember a whole lot about what happened in this one, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really get a chance to like look over any of these and stuff either. I was just like, I just want to kind of get this done and do a bit of a life catch up while showing you pretty pages and all that stuff. I didn't have time to decorate last few days of February or so. Yeah, there's that. There's just a couple of photos from a date that my boyfriend and I went on, but I'm not going to show you those obviously for privacy's sake. So that was journal 61. I surely shouldn't bother with that. Anyway, it's going to go behind me. I got this one, which was a notebook that I got at Target for like, I think less than $1 or about $1. But yeah, it was really nice. I decorated it with Snow White motifs, and yeah. I think this was, I really don't remember. I think it was just a lot of like kind of new suit planning, because I was wanting to commission or try to make my own suit for the first time ever, but spoiler alert, it hasn't happened yet. But I have most of, I'm thinking like 70% of the stuff that I need for him. It's just finding the time and all that junk. But yeah, March, I really can't remember a lot of what happened in here, I'm not gonna lie. I think at one point our senior dog went missing. Elvis went missing for a little bit. Yeah, he went missing for like 24 hours, give or take, and I ended up finding him in the creek, and brought him home, washed him up, and it was a whole frustrating ordeal, because my mom called me and was like, hey, I lost the dog, and I'm like, what do you mean you lost the dog? Which one? And she's like, I lost Elvis, and I'm like, how the fuck did you lose Elvis? And she was like, oh, I let him out, and I went upstairs. Our yard doesn't have a fence or anything, but he's an old enough dog where you just kind of like watch him and he kind of knows that you're there, so just kind of like stay there and then just come back, or like he'll wander a little bit, but you just gotta like, you know, pick him up and put him back. But yeah, whole but yeah, a whole ordeal, whole thing. Poor baby was fine after that, but Oh, God. I feel like I got so damn much to catch up on y'all with, and y'all are gonna be, like, I'm just gonna be aware. Bring popcorn, clutch your pearls. This year is a roller coaster and a half, but March was relatively tame. I filled this journal out pretty much in a month, and I'm not necessarily mad about it. I'm proud of myself for it. I just wish I was able to do even more with it. But when I got to a certain point, it's like, okay, it's almost April. That's not going to be enough for a month, so I'm just going to leave this chunk left. And yeah, that was that one. I'm just going to, again, put it behind me, I guess. April was between these two because I thought I was going to not be as active in writing, and I was absolutely wrong. So they're kind of the same. Although not the same brand or anything. This is from like a pack of 3 I got a while ago. I don't remember where. But it's got like a canvasy cover, and this is one that I got in a pack of 3 at Walmart. This one I nicknamed Meadow, and then this one I nicknamed Allegro, which sounds like a drug, I think, but it's like a ballet term because of this, and then Meadow just because flowers. But, yeah. I tried to do highlights, but I got sidetracked. Yeah, I saw a friend after a couple years, and we chatted for like literally 6 hours together, but I'll talk about that in a bit. I don't remember exactly where, but at my job at Gold Star, the eclipse happened, and there was like a honest to God last second promotional thing going on where it's like during the eclipse it's buy one get one on Coney's on 3 or 4 or 5 ways. So we didn't really have enough time to prepare for it, and thankfully, because there was little to no advertisement for it, it wasn't as madhouse rush as we were thinking. I really like how these pages turned out. I should try to do this kind of stuff again. But yeah, that happened, and it went okay. I had 2 great paychecks from what it looked like in the beginning, and then a friend of mine and my friend 20 years reached out to us, and we managed to arrange a day to just catch up. So we went to this Mexican restaurant, and we chatted there for like 2 hours or so, and then we went back to my friend's place, and we chatted again for like another, honestly, like 4 or 5 hours. We were talking for like ages and ages and ages. It was like everything that we had to catch up on, we were, and it was so nice. It was so rewarding, and it was fantastic. It was great, and I had a lot of fun with it. I don't remember what happened in this half, but I was pretty much like getting super, super hyped for what was going to happen in the next journal here in 64, and technically this is 64, but since it's in the same month, I'd say it's 63.5, and it's my journal, and I can do what I want with it. So there. Kind of rapid firing all this, I know, but the bulk of storytelling happens within at least these 2. So, fun times. But yeah, it was just basically me talking to myself in circles about, like, do I have everything ready for the convention? Do I have everything ready for the concert? And yada, yada, yada. Oh, that's right. I don't think I mentioned it earlier. I don't remember when we got them, but a friend of mine ended up getting us tickets to go see Sleep Token in concert in St. Louis, I think back in February of 2024. So that was pretty much me being hyped the rest of the year. Like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. I cannot wait. Oh my God, this is going to be amazing. I get to see my favorite band live. It's my second ever concert, and like I get to see more friends. I get to see a place I haven't been to in like years and years and years. And yeah, I literally filled up like almost the entirety of this one too. So I was a scribing little bee in this journal, or in these two journals, so that was rewarding. And then this one, this was when I had a convention, or I went to the Sleep Token concert first, and then I went to Anthro, Ohio, up in Columbus, in this one. This is Sleep Token's, like, insignia, and then in their, like, archaic alphabet, I just put cryptid. So that would be fitting because the theme of the con for Anthro, Ohio was cryptids and stuff like that, so I thought it had a relatively similar vibe. A note from a customer, because I thought the handwriting was neat. Postcard from the City Museum in St. Louis, which we'll talk about that later. Napkin from Flight. Lyrics to their song Vor. Don't look up the term of that if you don't know what it is. But the song is one of my favorites of theirs. This was a random Medusa head sticker in a pack of like old artwork, but I put a little bit of blood, ink, whatever on her mouth just to kind of mimic that. My sister, I think, is still working at this hotel, but Trixie Mattel and Katya stayed at her hotel. I think at least Trixie did. And she went to go see them live and got a sticker, and she gave me this, and I'm like, I adore you. But yeah, I flew out to St. Louis, sister's birthday. The ritual was this day, fly back home. That was false. I should have edited that. But anyway, Anthro, Ohio, go in or check in, and then day 1, 2, and 3, and then last day of con. This paper had super, super narrow lines, and I'm not a quitter, and I'm not a bitch, so I got this off of, like, this was from, I got 3 different ones. This one had a bunch of seagulls on it, but I covered it with what was it? A calendar image. I cut it in half, and it fit perfectly, basically, or almost perfectly. But yeah, yeah, I wrote a lot because it was mainly just me being excited, and I also wrote the days of the week in the, like, archaic language that they have, or archaic alphabet that Sleep Token has for itself, because I'm that obsessed, and we're just gonna have to deal with that. And now they're releasing a fourth, well, technically 4th album, and I'm super excited. I've been listening to their new song, like, forever and ever, it seems. Okay, so we're gonna get into travel stories for this one. So I got to the airport, which was in Columbus, and everything was going okay. I got there kind of super early, but I wanted to get there super early because, you know, how TSA and stuff is, getting to the gates in case delays and stuff like that, because I think the weather was going to be a little icky. But got to my gate, and it's like, hey, this is going to be delayed for like 3 hours, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't have that kind of time to afford. So I went to a gate across from mine to talk to somebody, and I'm like, hey, is there a chance that I can just get on a different flight to get to either to where I'm going directly or to closer and then to wherever? Like, I just need to get to where I need to go as soon as possible. I went a bit of a time crunch, and she's like, okay, yeah, I got you. So she goes through everything, gets me a decent seat, and then it's like, okay, as soon as she wraps it up, it's like, it went over the head. I heard on her radio, it's like, hey, that flight to here, to where I originally was going to go, it's back on track. And we just had that, we looked at each other, and we were just like, well, and she's like, you know what? Do you want to switch back? And I'm like, you already went through all that hassle. I'm not going to have you do it all over again. She's like, I'm going to upgrade your seat. And I'm like, bless up. So I got there. Instead of going to like North Carolina or South Carolina or somewhere a little further south, I ended up going to New York, and then had a absolutely insane layover because of the weather, which is understandable. But like, honestly, from how long it took me in between airports, I could have gotten there sooner if I drove, if I could drive, or if I had a way to get there by car. So I get to New York, And I literally am there for like 3 or 4 hours, and I'm like, you know what? I'm at my gate. It is fine. I'll be fine. And then I get to St. Louis, and not the friend that got the tickets, his sister that I'm also friends with, she picked me up, and as soon as I got in the car, she's like, "Hi, how are you? Oh my God, I missed you. I had a good flight. I'm starving. Let's go get ramen." I'm like, okay. And she we drove to a ramen shop, and she drove like a bat out of hell. God love her, but like I was clutching that oh shit handle for dear life. I love her to death. But he was just like, yeah, this is why I typically drive when we go to conventions together, and I'm like, I don't blame you. So yeah, spent a day or two with him before we went to the show, and I did a little bingo for sleep token bingo is what this basically says. I had body paint melts, I could have hoped, 2 appreciation, / harassment, 3 gets a pit, funny hats. I'm so surprised I didn't have funny hats. Adam appearance, we saw him a couple times popping in and out for photos of the group. 3 in a funny position, as he always is. Men kissing, trademark, and no men kissing. What the hell? Do the roar for Vessel. 3 and 4 bromance. 3 in Vessel bromance. New mic stand weapon. Yells in British from anybody. Free space, which is worship. Unusual crowd gift from fan. To or from. Like, I think during this tour at one point, like, I don't know what the fuck prompted it, but like the drummer too, he was throwing lemons in the crowd. So like, I don't fucking know. So it's and then like somebody gave them an American flag with like their photo on it, like went from their last concert in 2023. So it was a whole time. Vessel with 3 or 4 being like bromantical. Sam guest appearance, we saw him a couple times. Vessel cries, Espera love. 2 throws something into crowd. I think that was what it was. That was thinking it was like lemons. What did he throw into the crowd? I don't remember. But anyway, Vessel does a jig. That's a given one because he dances every time. Rain intro remix. I think he did. I don't remember, but no bingo. Just regardless. 3 stick bugs. He did not. Vessel works out. Alluding to location, which is what one of my friends just. I could not think of like 2 or 3 of these. Crowd keep the beat, and 3 gets mad about it, and that we did pretty good. But yeah, so Friday we went to the show, and it was a great time. We got pretty close to the stage, and they sound so much better live. And then Saturday was a busy day, so I didn't end up writing at all. But after the concert, we stayed at a different friend's house for the night because we were going to go to the St. Louis Museum, which for those that don't know what it is, it's almost like a giant art installation / indoor playground, but there's no real like age restriction. It's more of just like a how flexible are you restriction, and a little bit of like a weight and size limitation in some spots, but there's a lot of things that you can do to explore. But anyway, Sunday was Mother's Day. Not that that really matters, but that's a whole other ballpark in itself. So yeah, Saturday was fine. So Saturday, we went to the City Museum. We had a fantastic time, a lot of fun laughs and stuff like that. And then I got dropped off at the airport, and it was so funny because earlier when we went to go get pizza, we put rings on, or like fake rings, or my friend the friend's sister who I call my con wife, because we both have cat sonas, and we have like the con parent title in our group of friends. So we're just con spouses, and she's like, yes, we're con spouses. So we were just like over on our honeymoon, and we were like she stole one of my rings that I had on and was like, we're engaged. So we dropped off, I got dropped off at the airport by the two of them, and we said our goodbyes, and she's like, I guess this is a divorce. And I'm like, the divorce? Wait, what? But yeah, so on Saturday I got dropped at the airport, said goodbye to my friends, and I got in there and I got to the gate on the plane. Everything was going smooth, and they were like, hey, we need to take some bags off the plane. There's a bit of a weight issue, so you have to, get that fixed. So we're like, okay, whatever. And then they're like, hey, there's like way too many people on this plane. There's way too much luggage. There's a huge weight and distribution issue to where this plane cannot take off. We need to ask for like 7+ volunteers to get off this plane, like right now, and we'll reimburse you. And I was like, well, you know what? It's just me. I don't really have anywhere to be tomorrow. I'm sure my work will understand if I have to call off an extra day. So, yeah, I'll go. So I ended up staying another night in St. Louis, and I got back, and I was able to get a flight directly to Cincinnati instead of to Columbus, so that saved me a lot of time and headache. And I also got a $425 voucher for a future flight. It expires in May, and I'm going to be able to use it soon, give or take. I just gotta get some stuff figured out, but you'll figure that out later. Okay, back at home. But yeah, I flew out to Chicago airport, and then I had to literally book it from like point A to point B in like 10 minutes. And of course, getting from point A to point B is like 12, 15 minutes. So I'm like booking it. Like I'm talking like the only time I made a quick stop was to get a like chug of water from the water fountain before, because like I was literally from like the opposite ends of the airport. Chicago is just weird, their airport. But I was at the complete opposite end. My gate was at the very end of the terminal, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get this. I need to hydrate. Like that poor stewardess is gonna be like, I'm gonna take like however many bottles of water you have. I don't care if they cost me like $20 for one bottle. I'm taking 2 bottles or whatever. I was exhausted, but I got home. Everything's great. I think I got a drink after I landed in Cincinnati, and then my sister's fiance picked me up, and I got home. And then Monday, I got home, and I was telling my manager about everything that happened and how awesome it was. And she looked at me and she's like, oh, that's great. I'm so glad you had a great time. Oh, by the way, the manager's dad / the owner the owner of this building, because the store that I worked at was franchised, he's got cancer and they're giving him like 4 months to live. And I'm like, oh my God, that's awful. But like, okay. So I had to start thinking about another job opportunity. And then just me stressing about all that. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to try to go to this convention and have a great time. And when did that convention happen? I think it was the 23rd, so it's getting close. But yeah, well, this was after. So at the convention, it was a great time, typical crazy furry shenanigans. One of my friends from Canada actually came down to come see us. We picked her up from the airport, and she was obviously tired. The poor girl, she was traveling like all damn day because she had like I think she had like 2 layovers or something, and like a lot of delays because of the weather or just something stupid. But she was exhausted when she got there. But we had a fantastic time. I got to meet a bunch of new people, and a lot of them kind of become reoccurring characters. And yeah, I didn't get to finish this journal entirely, but I got pretty damn close, which is all I'm proud of at this point. Testing my handwriting because somebody was saying it looks kind of sloppy, and I'm like, no. receipt from the City Museum baggage claim thing, because my bag ended up getting pulled from the airport. I tried marzipan for the first time, and it's pretty good. It's almost like a weird peanut butter type taste to it, surprisingly, but I didn't mind it. We went to Gingham's after the concert, and it was really good. It made me wish we had a Gingham's everywhere, because it was really good. It's almost like Bob Evans, Cracker Barrel, Waffle House type collective mixed together, but like quality-wise, it's more like Bob Evans or Cracker Barrel, but 24 hours and a little bit diner-y, kind of like a Waffle House. This was wristband for us to get on the roof, because it's a little bit extra to get on the roof of the City Museum. And yeah, sorry, it's been a while since I recorded. I have a lot of practice, and I have a lot to go through, so I'm not really focused on quality of videos. And then June. Better get this over with, I suppose. This ended up lasting me through August, I believe. Yes. This is the small business that I got this journal from. Yeah. I ended up having to get my phone number changed, and you'll see why in a bit. And that was from my most recent job, this potato salad sticker, because I thought it was kind of funny. And same from here, the City Barbecue Lemonade sticker. Choose to shine, make this journey your own, and come what may. And by God, that applied. If you can read that. But yeah, I was super, super excited for June, you know, Pride Month, and all that good stuff. But yeah, a lot of stress was going on, because just things at home were just getting worse and worse and worse. And it just seemed like I was at a point where I'm either going to snap or something's going to happen or something at this point, because like everything was just miserable. And nothing felt like it was going right. I did end up going to 2 different Pride events. I went to a furry Pride rave in downtown Cincinnati called Bleat, and it was a lot of fun. I went with my friend of 20 years, and then a friend of mine that I met in the first con I went to with said friend, and then with a mutual friend of theirs that I met at Anthro, Ohio. This mutual friend will come into conversation in a bit. So we went to Bleat in downtown Cincinnati, had a great time, and then we went to Pride the next day and had a fantastic time, minus my mom kind of killing the vibe by just coming up to me and just being like, hi, and just walking off as like mocking me, but that's how it felt. And then not that long after, I woke up with the power not being on at the house, and I remember there being a conversation about how my stepdad was going to have the electricity switched over to his name, but obviously that didn't happen because he's incompetent. And I was just at a point where I'm like, you know what? This is my breaking point. I can't take this anymore. I'm done with being here in this house where there's just so much toxicity, lack of communication. Nobody wants to be here. Nobody wants to be in this house together. This isn't even fixed. Like, I'm in an unsafe space. Like, I'm done. I'm tired, whatever. So I had set up a GoFundMe just to try to help me get somewhere, anywhere. Just get me something to get something down for something. I didn't even care what. But my mom ended up finding out about it because I forgot to block her on one piece of social media, and she kicked me out that same day as I was doing laundry at a coworker's house, because I'm like, fuck it, I need to do laundry, and the power's out, and I feel awful, but, like, I need to do laundry so bad. So I ended up staying in, I stayed with a friend for about 2 weeks, or my friend of 20 years for about 2 weeks. And I was offered, the mutual friend, that I had met in May at Anthro, Ohio, through another friend of mine, was like, hey, I have a spare bedroom. If you need to stay with me, I'll rent it out to you. Like, I'll help you get on your feet, yada, yada, yada. Like, I'll help you out. Like, you're a really cool person, even though I haven't known you for very long. So I had to take it. I had to take the opportunity, because I was literally making, like, 800 phone calls, like, an exaggerated number, but, like, I feel like I was making, like, 800 phone calls in a day, and they were all just pointing me in a huge circle, but it was just like, well, we can't do this unless of that, we can't do this unless of that, like, this or that, or this and that and that and this. I had no options for shelters, I had no options for housing, I had no options for, like, safe places to go, I had no job security, because my job was pretty much on the fritz as far as I was aware, and just nothing was going right. And literally like 3 days after I got kicked out, my mom called me screaming at me saying, how dare I murder our dog? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Elvis went missing again for 3 days and nobody noticed. So he ended up passing away later after they found him, and I was thankfully there when he got put down, because I wanted to say goodbye to him, and I managed to get a piece of his hair and a paw print after my mom was screaming at me, like, telling me that I didn't deserve it. So my friend that took me there, I had to call him, like, pleading with him to take me there, and just all that. We had to drive around the block a couple times to make sure she was gone, and then I went back in and got him, and yeah, pardon the mess, but I got his paw print tattooed on me just to memorialize him a bit. But yeah, that too. But yeah, this is just me trying to make heads and tails of any of this, and this is through most of July, and then July 15th, I ended up moving into Lexington. Yeah, I'm currently no longer in Cincinnati, I'm currently in Lexington, and I'm probably not going to go back to Ohio anytime soon to live there, as far as I'm aware, for ever at this point, just because, yeah. But yeah, I ended up moving in to Lexington, and I only really took, like, a journal and some pens and stuff with me, and I took, like, a bunch of pens and markers and like a few journals with me, because I wasn't too sure what I was going to end up using, or when I was going to get my stuff out of storage, because I ended up putting pretty much all of my stuff in storage. Not every single thing, but 90% or 80% of my stuff. We don't need to talk about this, but my friend and I are weird. But yeah, this is just me trying to do something to have some sort of fun and decorate again with my journals and stuff, because I was like, I'll be damned if I don't have a little bit of fun with this journal, after trying to make a bunch of fun little spreads and stuff. But I moved to Lexington. I ended up getting a job within the first, like, 2-ish weeks or so of me being here, and that was going okay, and then it didn't go okay, because that job was run by a moron, basically. He's one of the examples as to why I think people past a certain age should no longer be in management positions if they're just going to be pieces of shit. But anyway, I tried to stick with, like, rainbow themes, because I wanted to make this rainbowy, because rainbows are nice and they're fun. But yeah, it was just a lot of me adjusting to living here in Kentucky and, you know, getting used to living with my roommate at the time. And I'll probably just show you the next two, just so I don't have to go through them again. But, what in the world? Just work stuff, but again, I'm sorry about the whack angles. I'm not used to recording after so damn long, but yeah, just a lot of me living here in Lexington and me adjusting to things. Literally my first day here, the friend that I moved in with for a little while, he hosted a barbecue, so that way I could have a few friends I was familiar with there already and meet a few other people that might frequently go to his house and stuff, just so it was a really nice icebreaker and nice, like, welcome to Lexington, whether that was intentional or not, but, yeah, it was really nice, and it has been so nice living here in Lexington, like, you have no idea, because where I used to live, it was so, like, Republican, red hat, like, Trump is our God, and there's only one God, and that's Trump and God, and it's like, ugh. It was that kind of ridiculous bullshit, and then, I did, like, a whole pen and marker swatch, so I did a better inventory to figure out, how much I had of what and what still worked and all that junk, because I want to my goal is to try to use up more stuff. My first shift at City Barbecue and, like, some grocery lists and stuff like that. It's nothing too important in that. But, so yeah, that was July through June, July, and August, I believe. Yeah, June, July, and August, and this was September and October. I got this from a Bluey sticker book, because I do like Bluey. It's a really cute show. I think it's really well done and well written for being a show technically for kids, but I think it's more or less for parents disguised as a kid's show, but it's a really well written show. This is the gnome husband that Bingo had in an episode where they were at, like, I don't even remember what the store is called, but it's like their IKEA basically, or their Costco, and I named this journal Kinski because he broke, and then the sticker in the episode, he broke into pieces, and then the sticker book had him broken into pieces, so I put them together, but they didn't fit quite properly, so I was like, let's just fill them with gold and call it that. And trust me, this journal with the relaxed background came in clutch, because I felt like I could breathe a bit better. This journal was very green, if you could believe it. And obviously September is my birthday month, but I still didn't really have access to my stuff, so I was just pretty much doodling and trying to do things to use up markers and stuff. And one of my friends that I used to work with at Waffle House was messaging me, and he's like, hey, I'm going to come down to Lexington for your birthday. What do you want to do? And I'm like, I really don't know. And he's like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I really don't know. And I was like, well, if anything, do you mind if you grab a couple things out of my storage unit? Like, I sent him a spare key to my storage unit for safekeeping, just in case I needed it for whatever reason, or if he needed to get access to it for whatever reason. And I was like, can you just grab this thing for me and a couple journals, and that's it? And he's like, I got you. So he brought in, like, this washer basket full of stickers and things, so that was nice. This was fun, but it was annoying to fill out for multiple pages, and then it didn't even look that great when you wrote on top of it, so yeah. So yeah, he brought all that, and this was just me writing at work and stuff like that, and about work and stuff. I used to do this design all the time in, like, elementary school and high school and junk, because I thought it was just fun doing the side of, like, note paper. or notebook paper margins. Oh, and then, yeah, he came for my birthday on the 19th, and I was slowly starting to use stickers and stuff again, because my goal is to try to just use up as much of my stuff as possible, because I'm just at a point where it's like, I've had my stuff for years and years and years, and it's not that I don't enjoy it anymore, it's just that, like, I want to get new stuff, but I don't want to distract from the stuff that I already have. So it's me slowly trying to get the hang of using all that stuff. This was when the hurricane went through. Yeah, there was a bit of a gap, but I got 2 tattoos. I got the paw print first because I wasn't too sure how I was going to like the feeling of getting tattooed, but I didn't mind it at all. So I got this one on top of it. This was based off of a pin that I got at Pride, and this is a little guy. He's got the asexual flag, and I love him to death. I'm going to get a matching angel at some point soon. The artist is awesome. I love her. But yeah. And then just a lot of, like, things at work are a little frustrating because I kept asking for full-time hours for insurance reasons, or just to get insurance from my work, and I want to get cross-trained and this and that and the other, and my manager was just not letting me do it for whatever stupid reason, even though when I was interviewed, he's like, yeah, you seem like a great candidate to get all this stuff, yada, 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 like, we'll try to make the most out of your skills and assets, yada, 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 and I was just basically on register the entire time. Like, I was just standing there for hours and hours and hours a day. Like, I couldn't even go to, like, the side to, like, help out with anything. I had to get a little bit of extra training on something else, but it was, like, I didn't even do it very often anyway, so I was like, screw this, so I ended up leaving, but you'll see that more in the next one. But, I was trying to use up a lot more, like, Halloween stickers, as you can see, not really caring about, like, not caring too much about, like, oh, this thematically all doesn't go together, but I think aesthetically this all looks really great. It's just kind of cute and collective. Like, I love how these pages turned out, these, like, lizards and leaves and bugs, and, ugh, so cute. I forgot stuff at home. I forgot to decorate, and I forgot to grab a pen, but I had a dream where I was at another Sleep Token concert, but it was, like, in a basement, and it was really weird. Like, this was where the stage was. It was just this, like, giant room, basically. Open space. There's, like, 4 beams, and there was this, like, VIP area next to, like, where the stage was. It was, like, this really weird corner piece next to this wall or something. But, the drummer, too, from Sleep Token, I was more or less watching him because I love a short king. In comparison to the others, he is the shortest, but I stand a short king. But, I was watching the show, and I was, like, sitting on this wall, basically, near the stage, and at one point he looked at me, and I got a bit closer to the stage, so I was just like, oh, there's an opening, I'm gonna go up there and just kind of vibe, and he, like, was drumming, but he, like, had the drumstick, and he flipped it to where, like, the handle part of it was pointing outward, and he, like, handed it to me, like, looking at me. It's like, this is for you, and I'm like, oh shit. I was, like, geeking. And then after the show, he came out, and he was, like, trying to wait for me to, he was like, hold on, like, stay. Like, he kept, like, gesturing. He didn't really say anything, but he was, like, gesturing for me to, like, come here and stand right here kind of thing. So I did, and he went, like, understage. He didn't even go backstage. He went more, like, underneath the stage, because this was, like, on an elevated platform, but you could still see what was going on underneath. It was weird. And he had, like, these books of, like, poetry and, like, pressed flowers and stuff like that, and I was like, oh my god, this is, like, oh, like, I woke up and I was, like, blushing. I was like, this feels, like, very fan fiction-y, but, you know, I'm here for it. Like, I'm here for this. Yeah. I'm also trying to use up a lot of these alphabet stickers because alphabet stickers are hard for me to go through for some reason. So just making up whatever words and stuff that I can, like nope, ugh, fuck this, kill me, and then kiss my ass. The E is a 3 because an upside down 3 just for shit and giggle's sake. But yeah, just trying to use up a bunch of whatever I had just for the sake of using it up. And I think a lot of these pages turn out to be some of my favorites overall. Because, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get back to this in a minute. But yeah, some of these pages turn out to be some of my favorites in general overall because, like, these are really fun and eclectic to look at, and I love the aesthetic of it. So, October, Halloween, as you know, and for those that don't know, I'm gay, more asexual, as I stated, but I'm non-binary asexual, so, like, gay, in short-term gay. So we had made plans to, what was it? Go to Activate, which is like an indoor arcade, not indoor arcade, but it's more like it's almost like a, like Tron-esque type games. Like there's a bunch of tiles on the floor and they light up in different colors and you have to step on the different colors before time runs out. Or you have to avoid touching these red squares. You have to push the buttons on the wall. And there's like a basketball hoop game. There's a baseball throwing one. There's a laser dodging one to where you're like a spy in a movie kind of thing. There's a bunch of stuff like that. And a bunch of stuff like that as well. And we ended up going to, we went to that. And then we went to go to Rocky Horror Picture Show. My first ever time going. So I lost my V card. My Rocky Horror V card, if you will. I preserved it in tape. They put it on lipstick on my hand. So yeah. This was the card that I got to throw, but I ended up keeping it because I'm like, well, it's just going to get discarded afterwards anyway. I got a couple bits of merch, and this was just a stamp that they had on the bag. And we had a Halloween party. Or no, we went on Halloween. Yeah, we did. We went on Halloween on 31st, but... or a little bit before. It's here, but it's 30th. Anyway, probably a little incontinuity, or slight typo or whatever. I'm human, but yeah, saw Rocky Horror, and it was fantastic. It was really campy. I loved it. First, like, real drag performance. Oh, so for my birthday, I got myself a Build-A-Bear. I got one of the bear clops, and I got a little eyeball shirt. And then when I went to go get him stuffed in store, I got him overalls, so he looks like a little bumpkin, and I love him to death. This is Blinken, and then that's Flapjack over there. I literally just got him, but yeah. The Chinese takeout menu. I got a couple things from Bath & Body Works, and then I'm gonna blame a friend for this. So back in May, I went to Anthro, Ohio, as y'all know, as I mentioned. And a friend of mine that also lives in Kentucky, in a different part of Kentucky, I ended up trying Ale 8 through him, and I have been addicted to Ale 8 ever since. And then they released Roxacola, and I tried it, and it's a solid, it's okay, but yeah. This was tattoo stuff. This is where I got my tattoo done. This is the tattoo that my friend got at the same time as I did, and it's so sick looking. Yeah. We saw Rocky Horror, and we ended up doing a lot of cool, fun things for Halloween, and it was a lot of fun. And then this one is a different composition notebook that I named Solstice. I think this was the same type of composition notebook as this one, but it was green, but I covered it up, obviously. But yeah. This was a graph paper one that I've had forever and ever, and I typically use these for, like, to make calendars and stuff in other journals, but I'm kind of not doing that much anymore, or if I am, it's, I don't know, I have plenty of these type of notebooks, and these are easy to come by to an extent, so I figured why not use one of these as an actual journal. So this is 67. And I named this one Solstice. Mostly Christmas stuff on here, like from a Christmas party at my new job, at my current job, which is I'm back at Waffle House, but in a different store, obviously, because I am not anywhere near Ohio anymore, or as far as I can get from Ohio at this point. If you want to read this, go right ahead. But yeah, a lot of fun fall things. Again, trying to use up more and more stickers and stuff because I'm just trying to go through more of my collection of stickers and tapes just so I can eventually just kind of reset and try to get new things that make me happier. This stuff does not make me happy, but just like just a refresh, you know. Also, I used Bic crystals in this because I have a crap ton of them, like a literal shit ton of them, and they're not my favorite pens by any means. They're really cheapy. They skip quite a bit, and they just don't quite write how I would like them to. They're not as smooth. I know a lot of people do like them, but I don't. But I figured why not try and use up as many as I can in here, and this one lasted, like, not even 2 of these pens lasted in here. Like, almost 2 pens lasted this whole journal, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I wanted to go through, like, 5 of these things. Come on. I ended up using a lot of, like, I ended up really clearing out a lot of my fall stickers and stuff, which I am not complaining about. It gives me a reason to buy more in the future. Yeah, a lot of me just complaining about City Barbecue and how my manager is a dick, and a lot of other stuff. And then a lot of, like, me talking about, like, goals and junk for next year, like, pre-planning goals for next year, and, oh boy, Thanksgiving. We're just going to kind of slip through these pages kind of quickly, because there's a little bit of TMI stuff on that. Not that you'll probably be able to read it from this angle. Yeah, I ended up leaving City Barbecue, and ended up working Waffle House again on like the 27th, so I'm back at Waffle House, and my current store is so nice. It's lost a bit of its sparkle, but it's still so much more nicer than my old store. I don't feel like I have to bitch about people being shitty and have to deal with it and just being told we'll deal with it. I don't have anything better to do. But yeah. Also, I did a crap ton of writing in this, obviously, but I had a lot of fun with it. Like, I don't know. I've been loving, like, graph paper and dot grids lately, just because it feels like I love just giant walls of text and, like, decorations and junk. I don't know what it is about just walls of texts. This is just a lot of me, like, getting used to working at this current store. Oh, okay, so this shift that I was writing for on this one, it was a really interesting day. I work third shift, so if you see a lot of, like, breaks and dates and inconsistencies and stuff like that, I work third shift. I don't know what day it is anymore. And I was like, so we had this one guy come in, and he was talking about how he has cancer, and he was getting out of chemo, so this is his first time having a meal since chemo, and he's just starving, so we ended up taking care of him. And he was just talking about, like, mortality and stuff like that, and he's like, yeah, I've been made aware what my end, like, time clock's end is, and some people don't even get to know it. Some people see it later on, and yada yada yada. And I'm like, okay, this is grim before Christmas, but okay. And then we had a younger guy come in, and he was probably give or take my age, maybe a little younger, and he was talking about how his wife is pregnant for the first time after having, like, so many miscarriages, and now his mother has cancer, and she's probably not going to make it to when the baby's born. And I'm like, oh my Lord, what's happening? Like, but yeah, it was a really strange topic of mortality that night. I went to a Christmas party with my colleagues, and it was super nice to me. I feel super included despite not really knowing me that well. This is the one thing that I have loved about Lexington so far, is that I have not felt as though I am excluded or unwanted, or like everybody doesn't want me, like doesn't even care to acknowledge anybody. Like it seems like this place is a lot more open and welcoming and all that stuff. So it has been a huge like relief that like I'm here and I am wanted, I am accepted, I am respected and all that junk. Like it's been a huge sigh of relief. So yeah, it's been so nice. I did work Christmas because for Waffle House, Christmas is blackout dates. But I think, yeah, it was Christmas Day because it's December 25th. But, yeah, it was a lot of, like, I'm doing stuff with, friends or coworkers and stuff. And it was just a lot of really chill stuff. And a lot of like reminiscing about how ape shit this year 2024 was, and it kind of ended. This is my favorite comic that made me really, it almost made me cry a little bit. This is the last day of the year. All in all, it wasn't so bad. You want to know what I liked about this year? I'm still in it. Like, I saw that and I legitimately was just like, I'm gonna cry. I was trying to see how long one of the pens would last, and I'm like, good Lord. Bit crystals are a whole force to be reckoned with. This is from the wing shop that I've gone to a few times, and they're really good. I got some Milky Tomato stickers for myself for Christmas. What is this stuck on? Hello? Oh. We're not going to talk about that. Waffle House Christmas hat. I got Christmas ornaments, handmade Christmas ornaments from a couple friends of mine, my roommate and a friend of ours. And yeah, it's not their actual names, so who's named Frozen, I don't know, but but yeah, yeah, during the middle part there, crap kind of hit the fan, for sure. But 2024 was definitely, it was a year and a half in one. But one thing I can definitely say for certain is that I am in a far better place. I am in a much better mindset. I am in a much better position in life. Slowly, I'm starting to work on learning how to drive. I got a lot of crap that I need for it. And I'm not going to show you the room yet because it's really messy because I don't have furniture at the moment. But I'm currently in an apartment that I'm sharing with one of my friends, the friend that not the mutual, I was living with him for a little while, but I moved out in February this year. Like February 20th was when we moved in. And I'm moving in with the friend that I met the former roommate through. Yeah. This was the journal that I started this year with. This is named Phobos, I believe is how you pronounce it. It's one of the moons. I don't remember which planet it's for, but let me move these out of the way. But I'm just gonna get these out of the way just because I'm here and I don't know when I'm gonna be able to do this again. But yeah, again, trying to go through a bunch of stickers and stuff, so there's gonna be a lot of sticker bombing. Learn to drive, move in with Quinn, can check that one off. Save up for a con. The first two that I want to do, I probably will not be able to move up one Waffle House rank, and that could be either I become a rock star or I go up to like silver server rank, but I don't think it's going to happen this year. I'm not going to lie. Go to at least 3 conventions. I don't know about that one. Go to another concert. That one is going to happen. No/low buy journaling supplies, and so far that has been good. I only bought a couple things off Michael's online because I wanted to get the Crayola retired colors and markers, and I got like 2 packs of them, and I got a couple pieces of paper, and a roll of like discount Valentine's washi tape. So that's it. Use up even more pens and supplies and notebooks in bulk, or to restock in bulk, and so far it's going good. I have not learned ASL or anything more. Read at least 3 books. I haven't read a single book yet. Make content again. I can kind of check that one off. I'm doing that now. Plan something special for birthday. Probably not, because it's not that long after I'm going to go to a concert in October. Be more socially active. Kind of, sort of. It's been a little hard to since I moved and I can't drive still. Figure out insurance plan. Haven't done that yet. Learn new recipes. Not yet, but I have a bunch of recipes from stuff that I saved that I want to try to make. Build stronger bonds with friends. So far, so good. Start/finish one TV/movie series, and I started the Sonic series and BoJack Horseman. My roommate is currently having me watch BoJack with them in between like shifts and stuff like that. So that's been going good. I like it a lot. It's really makes you think. It's a really dark show. Draw more again, kind of, sort of, not really. Downsize on possessions, working on that. Develop a better skincare routine. I need to do that. Get more tattoos. I want to get that. Get Kitty back in my possession. Oh, so quick thing, cat. I don't have my cat with me anymore, or for right now, but she is safe. She's staying with a friend of mine back up in Ohio. When I got kicked out, I was really concerned about what I was going to do with her. I took her with me. And a friend of mine that I hung out with at Pride, a different friend of mine, that I met so I met this friend at another furry meetup and met him again at Pride, and we hung out for a while. They were saying that them and their family were okay with taking her in, and if I were to get my own space, and I do now, but I have to save up a bit. I want to save up a little bit and get a bit more comfortable in the space before I am possibly able to get her back. And they said they're more than happy to give her back, or they're okay with keeping her for the rest of her life. And so either way, I know she's safe, because I could not find a no-kill shelter that was in Ohio. There was like in Indiana or Illinois. Like they were far the fuck out. So yeah. Yeah, it was huge relief when this friend was like, yeah, we'll be able to take her. So I miss her dearly, but I know she's safe, so that helps me go to sleep at night some days. Yeah, a lot of journaling, a lot of space stuff, a lot of just me talking about work and stuff like that, and a lot of interpersonal relationship stuff, and definitely trying to use up a lot more supplies that I don't normally use, like calendar stuff, like all these, all of this is from Sesame Street calendar from a couple years ago, I think. Oh, there was a blizzard that went through, or like a really bad snowstorm, and I ended up staying at a hotel next to my work for about 2 nights, because it was becoming dangerous for people to come get me to work. I don't live far from my old store. Well, at the time I didn't live far from my store, but it was still just like everything was so icy and slippery and scary. So like I was like, I'm just gonna stay at the hotel next door, especially if that's the option. Like it's just a better, secure way for me to be here and stuff like that. So I stayed there for a couple nights, and it went well, but now we're no longer allowed to stay there because somebody from a different store ended up destroying the room that she stayed in. So now it makes us all look bad. So now we all can't go. So we'd have to go, if we were to have another like bad storm or anything like that, we'd have to go to one of the other hotels next door. And there's like 2 or 3 or 4 of them. So, fun times. So yeah. Definitely having a lot of fun with using up stuff that I haven't used in a while, or just trying to figure out new ways to use things. And yeah. I don't remember a whole lot about what happened. This year has also been kind of like, at least good crazy. I'm going to say good crazy, not bad crazy. But yeah, I'm doing a lot better here in Lexington. I'm mentally doing a lot better, emotionally doing a lot better, physically doing a lot better, and I no longer have contact with my mother. I still keep in contact with my siblings, just not as much as I would kind of like to, but it'll happen. We all have our own lives. My one sister's getting married, my brother has kids, and my other sister's got her own stuff going on. I don't 100% know what's going on with her, but hopefully she's doing all right. I need to probably reach out to them soon for sure. But yeah, I didn't fully finish this one, but yeah, that's gonna happen. I was getting kind of tired with this one. Oh, I forgot. In this one, or no, yes. In this one, I went to the Kentucky Wool Festival with my one friend, the one that got me addicted to Ale8, and we had the most god-awful fun time. Like, god-awful as in, like, the jokes that we made. I'm like, I can't, I don't know how to begin with where everything went off the rails, because we weren't even there. We were in the car driving the 2 hours to get there, and it went off the rails. Like, the Secret Horse Society, or I drank too much Benadryl, now that Baba looks gay. Like, how does one even begin to explain these jokes? And then Valentine's stuff. This is my last journal that I use, and I nicknamed this one Cherry because this was inspired by the lyrics to their most recent song, Valentine. And yeah, I thought it was cool, and I do like it a lot. This is one that I got from Dollar Tree when I first moved here, because I wasn't too sure when I was going to get notebooks back, or any of my journals back. And this is honestly a super nice journal, I will not lie. I kind of want to go back and get more of these if they're available, but I have a lot of journals still as is. So I'm not going to. It's defeating the purpose of me going on a low/no buy with journaling supplies and trying to use up what I have, if all I'm going to do is just replenish what I already have, like what I have in abundance. I love how these pages turned out. Oh, so, in here there's just a little bit of work drama, but it's working itself out to a degree. And yeah, new guy came in, flirting with everybody, and then now he's staying with one of my coworkers, and he ended up quitting, and she's being a raging thunder cunt. And yeah, I don't really like using that word too terribly often, but there's no other way to describe it, but she's being that. And yeah, to the point where everybody's getting mad at her, and yeah, a little bit of drama, but you know what, no place is gonna be perfect. But I love my job, I love the people that I work with, even though none of them are gonna be lasting very long. A lot of people are there as like a temporary space, like, oh, I'm only here to help me cover this and that and the other. I'm only here for this, I'm only here till that, or I'm quitting because of this, I'm quitting because of that. Like, I have a different job lined up, or yada, yada, yada. But yeah, these are also, this is a Milky Tomato sticker, by the way. I love these a lot. This is also a Milky Tomato sticker, and then this is my current journal. I'm not going to show it to you, but this is also a Milky Tomato sticker. I was about ready to journal, and I was like, you know what, I should just do this real quick. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this one. It's a dot grid notebook that I got at Walmart. But yeah, yeah, that was an hour and like 15 minutes later. Here we are. Yeah, these are the journals that I've used up since I last saw y'all. And boy howdy, was it a year for 2024. But yeah, again, I'm in a much better spot. I am in a lot better mindset. I'm in a much better place in life, and it seems like a lot of things are going well. I am so thankful for the friends that I've made here in Lexington and just in general. And yeah, this has gone on for almost an hour and 20 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap this up here. But just for quick final recap of covers: 63 and 63.5, 62, 61, 67, 65, 64, 68, 66, and then 69. I am on 70 journals, and it still boggles my mind. But yeah. Oh, and I guess quick thing, since I already mentioned it a little bit, but I moved in the 28th of February into this apartment with a friend of mine. I do have all my possessions out of storage now, and that's why I was able to do this, because I didn't have access to my journals and stuff, and I didn't want to do flip throughs of like 65, 66, 67, 68. It's like, well, where are the other ones in between? It's like, they're not here. But yeah. Yeah, life's going a lot better. Things are going a lot smoother in life, and I hope everybody's doing okay. I want to try to make content for YouTube again with journaling stuff, just because I do miss it, even though I wasn't very active for a hot minute. I just miss making content. Content making is a lot of fun, even though I'm not getting paid for it, but I'm not doing it for the monetary value. I'm doing it for the self-fulfillment of it, and more or less this is just me documenting my journals for myself, for the sake of I have a digital archive of them, so that way, heaven forbid, a fire happens or anything happens to where I lose my journals, I do have a way to still keep them in some sort of format for me to view. Or if I am to pass away for whatever reason, I have this so that way there is some archive of my life. So that way my time on this earth isn't necessarily all for naught. And not that the life that I am living now is one that I wouldn't necessarily not trade for the world, but I could have a much better life. I could have a much worse life. I am content with what I have going on in my life. It's led me up to this point, and I'm happy about it now. I can look back on it and reflect on it, and I have 70 journals, or going on 70 plus journals, to prove that I have survived a lot more. So, yeah. What was I even saying? But yeah, this is just more like a digital archive for myself. I'm not doing this for monetary stuff. I'm not doing this for sponsorships or for fame or whatever anymore. Not that I really was really doing it for that anyway. It was just kind of more of like I want to showcase this to people because other people are doing it. I think it's cool. Now it's just more like, I don't know if I'm gonna have my journals in my possessions forever, so I at least have some way to digitally format these without scanning every single page. As much as I would love to have like every single page of my journal scanned and archived and stuff, so that way I can reread them all digitally one day or something, or my journals, my writing can be translated into like print, so that way people can read them in the future in some sort of digital archive. But that's so much work. Anyway, yeah, I rambled on enough. I hope everybody's doing well. And I will hopefully see you guys later when I eventually get a desk, which should be coming in about a week. Bye.